Welcome to Monday Motivation. Apparently the audio was not working, so we'll try this again. This is the November 16th edition. We're glad that you're here to join us. If you could like this video, share it with your friends, invite your friends to watch. If you find Monday Motivation beneficial, helpful, if you like the ideas that we discuss, share it. Help to grow the channel. Don't hide it. Join us. We also have a Facebook page. Make sure you like our page. We have a closed group, Monday Motivation, Inspire, Share, Connect. If you want to share ideas with people, if you want to become part of the community that makes up Monday Motivation, please do join us. I'm just watching my Facebook feed here to see how things are going. Yeah, we're looking good. If you feel free to comment, leave comments. If you're leaving them after the video's over, after the live is over, I'll still respond. We like to hear where people are from, what you're doing, what's going on. And Monday Motivation is not just all about me and my ideas, but it's a community. That's why we have the Facebook groups, so that you can get involved with the community to share ideas. So it's a closed Facebook group, but if you follow Monday Motivation, it's called Monday Motivation Inspire, Share, Connect. Join that group. Share your ideas on past videos, on this video. You can pick up past editions on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, or go to, it's on the website, on the bottom of the screen there, www.monday-motivation.ca. This week, topic for the week is, how do you handle different opinions? How do you handle different opinions? Just pulling it up here, my notes. Something happened on my iPad here, everything reset. Okay. What inspired me to talk about this is there's so much going on right now in Canadian politics, with the US election, with how the government's handling COVID, and we see people that can handle different opinions well, and unfortunately we see a lot of people that are not handling them so well. And that got me to thinking, how am I doing, and how do I handle people with different opinions? Am I doing well, or am I one of these people that's maybe doing not so well? So if I've said something that offended you, or maybe I wasn't doing my best, forgive me, but we're all growing, and I decided to take a look at what are some of the ways that we can handle differences of opinion. Fortunately, the majority of my friends were able to disagree and discuss matters in a civil conversation. That's the majority of my friends, and if you're on that list, I appreciate you. It's good to be able to discuss difficult topics and still maintain a proper civil conversation. But the reality is, if you're on social media, you know it. If you follow any of the television or online media, there's many people that can't handle discussion involving views that contradict theirs. Especially on social media, you see people lash out because they can't handle anybody who might disagree with their point of view. Now, some of it, we're passionate about our beliefs and our points of view, and there's nothing wrong with passion. But how do we handle that passion? So what are some of the characteristics of people who can't handle other opinions? Well, they refuse to consider other people's points of view. Their mind is locked. They will not give any consideration to any viewpoint but their own. They're very closed to any other possibilities. They don't like to be confronted with facts. If you come to them with factual information from reliable sources, they don't want to be confronted with that. They'll shut down the conversation, or they'll get angry and storm off. They don't want to be confronted with facts. A big one you see on social media is mockery. They'll mock somebody or a group of people they don't agree with. I see In the U.S. election, I saw much mockery of both candidates on both sides. Both sides are guilty of it. Mocking somebody does nothing to promote a healthy society or healthy discussion. Even on Facebook, coming on to this, somebody said, I don't know what I hate worse, anti-vaxxers or anti-maskers. Well, that's again mocking. Why mock somebody? There's different points of views, and to just take a whole group of people and start mocking means that you are not open to any possibilities other than your point of view. People do a lot of that. I just shut them off on my Facebook. I can't be bothered. And that's from both sides of the political spectrum, or both sides of any issue. I don't have time for people who just want to mock. That's so low and serves absolutely no purpose. People who can't handle difficult or different opinions, they'll discuss personalities. Oh, I don't like this person because I don't like their personality. We saw that with a lot of Donald Trump. He's got a very different type of personality. And a lot of people in their discussion, I don't like Trump. They couldn't say what policies of his they didn't like. They couldn't say what he did, factually based, that they didn't like. They just didn't like his personality. They'll discuss personalities rather than facts or policies or details. Just get angry. If the conversation is difficult and a different opinion, just get angry. Get mad. Start screaming. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't be passionate about what we believe in, but we don't need to get angry. That serves no purpose, except to close off your mind to any other possibilities. Threats and intimidation. Bullying. Could be verbal threats. And even this past weekend in the U.S., supporters of a particular candidate were beaten up right in the street. We had somebody earlier in the month who was shot, murdered, because they attended a political rally. Threats, intimidation. People will try to shut people down through intimidation. That's bullying. There's no room for that. If you can't handle other people's opinions, just shut it down with using whatever method possible. Another characteristic, feelings of hatred towards an individual or group of people. If I say somebody's name, or if I bring up a group of people and that stirs up thoughts of hatred, then that means chances are you are having problems handling different opinions. So, for example, our current Prime Minister, I don't agree with some of his policies. I don't agree with the direction that he's taking the country. But that doesn't mean that I hate him as a person. I still respect him as a person. I still wish the best for him. I would not wish any harm on him, because if he does well, the country does well. So if saying somebody's name or mentioning a group of people stirs up hatred inside of you, that's a red flag right there. And we've all had times when we have probably shown these characteristics. That's the negative side. Thoughts, comments? Let me just flip over to Facebook here, see. And it's not giving me comments. Oh. Leave your name, let me know where you're from. I'll just go back here. So what are some of the characteristics of people who can handle different opinions? These are the things that we want to strive towards. These are the things I'm asking myself, how can I do better in these areas? Number one, when you listen for the purpose of understanding, not listening to respond. If somebody else is talking, what's going on in your mind? Are you formulating your response, or are you trying to understand their point of view? Very good listening skill. Are you listening to respond, or are you listening to understand? Seek to understand the other person and where they're coming from. Respect the opinion of others, even if you don't agree. Mockery, threats, that's not respecting their opinion. That's just trying to force your opinion on them. So even if you don't agree, you're more likely to win somebody over with respect. I had somebody I challenged. I said, there's a difference between, this was back when the riots were going on, I said there's a difference between a protest and a riot. And that's all I said. I didn't go into details. I didn't say anything for or against any particular point of view. I just said there's a difference between a protest and a riot. And they got all upset with me, and they told me to shut up and listen. And I couldn't believe it. But I responded back and I said, well, actually, I am familiar with the topic and always willing to learn more. And I said, your response is not helping anybody understand your point of view. At which point they apologized and they backed off. But it's easy to just, when we're passionate about something, to show disrespect. But respect the other person. Even if you don't like what they do, if you don't agree with their opinion, you can still show respect. Engage in dialogue. Discuss facts, and make sure your facts are accurate. Make sure you've got a good source for your facts, a reliable source. Discuss facts and outcomes, not, like we said earlier, personalities or could-bes, maybes. Make sure you've got good facts, good data. Deal with facts, deal with outcomes. Realize that often matters are very complex. So you are seeing it from one point of view, they might be seeing a very complex matter from another point of view. Maybe when you combine your ideas together, you'll come up with a much better solution than either of you had on your own. People who can handle a disagreement, look for common ground. Are there elements of their perspective that you could learn from? And at the end of the day, you may have to agree to disagree, but still have mutual respect. I have lots of people that I don't agree with, maybe in terms of my Christian point of view, or in their worldview or their religious point of view. People I don't agree with politically. But at the end of the day, agree to disagree, and you can still have mutual respect for each other. You can still learn from each other. Even political ideas I don't agree with, there's still elements of it that I like. It's not all or nothing. There's a saying we hear quite often, that diversity is our strength. That statement can only be true if we're able to handle diverse opinions and grow from it. If diversity is going to divide us, it's not our strength. So saying that diversity is our strength is only true if we're able to handle diverse opinions and grow from it. I had already decided my topic for this week, and it's interesting, in the past weekend's edition of National Post, Saturday's edition, there's an article by Leslyn Lewis, "A strong society must encourage, not limit, debate." So check that out. I'll include a link in the comments after, or if go to our Facebook, go to our website, monday-motivation.ca. I'll include a link, but it's a good article, and it builds, or it's along the same lines of what we've talked about here. That's Leslyn Lewis, "A strong society must encourage, not limit, debate." So my Monday motivation challenge to you, and even to myself, we can all get better at it. How do you handle others with different opinions? How do you rate in terms of the negative points that I brought up? How do you rate in terms of the positive points I brought up? And then finally, what can you do this week to engage in positive conversation? That's my thoughts. That's my Monday motivation for this week. If you have any thoughts or comments, please leave them in the comments or on the feedback form on our website. Just going to take a look here. I decided to use my iPad for Facebook this week, and it's a bit slower. Guess I'm going to go back to the computer next week. Any thoughts? That's my Monday motivation for this week. Oops. If you have any thoughts or comments. Okay. What is it?
Tomorrow, I usually make sure I'm in a good state mentally before I even engage in certain conversations.
Okay. They're being read to me here because I can't pull them up. My apologies. Kim says, make sure I'm in a good state mentally before engaging in difficult conversations. Excellent point. If you are tired, if you're grumpy, if you're in a bad frame of mind, chances are you're going to fall more on the negative side than the positive side. So, excellent point. Make sure you're in a good frame of mind. Oops. Any other comments there? That's it. Thanks, Kim. Anybody who's watching this video after the fact, feel free to leave your comments. Thanks. Have a great week. Engage in positive conversation, and we'll see you next week on Monday Motivation.